What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 27th episode of the Boundless Business Podcast. As always, it's Nika, Larissa, and Justine. And Justine has a ton of questions around our new Pixel. So we're going to really dedicate a lot of this podcast to that, get into intricacies, how you can use data. But I will be quiet and let Justine kind of take it from here.
Yeah, so I want to start off with kind of why we developed the Pixel and what problem we're trying to solve and who we're trying to solve it for. Just kind of get a better understanding of like the background of how we began this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can really start there because it is really frustrating when you're investing a lot of time and energy into creating amazing content, doing amazing outreach, and ultimately like not hitting the goals that you want to hit. And for us, what we were doing is posting a ton of great content, driving people to our website, reaching out to people on email and LinkedIn, and knowing that some people were coming to the website, but not really knowing who they were. So that was our first problem. Like, who are these people? Then when we solved that problem, we were like, okay, great. It's great to know that Joe Smith came to the website and he looked at our contact page, but he didn't fill it out. So if I just had, his information to contact them, why not add that? And eventually we started building the solution to where once we know who's on the site, we know what they're doing and have their contact information, both to outreach to as well as for ads. That would just solve this huge problem that we were having. And after really looking at the marketplace and understanding like, oh, we're not the only one that deals with that, it seemed like a no-brainer to offer this to other agencies, e-com brands, B2B companies. We're still figuring out who can benefit the most from it, but we were just annoyed that we're getting all this like great traffic, but didn't really know how to convert them.
Yeah, and on top of that, another like frustration on our end that really made us want to, develop something like this is that a lot of times when you get data, it's incomplete. So we wanted to be able to have an as complete as possible database that gets us as much information as possible. So really, it was multiple issues. It was, not being able to tell who is at our company, and the solutions on the market primarily will be able to tell you like if a particular company viewed your site, but we found that they're, kind of expensive and they don't actually work that well, that like their match rates are super low. And so we just wanted something all around better that matched better, gave us better data, and gave us a more complete data set as well.
So what makes this different than like Google Analytics or Facebook Analytics or the other softwares out there that I probably don't know about?
Larissa, you have a really good breakdown of this one.
The biggest difference is data ownership. So, for example, like Facebook has a pixel, you can put it on your site and it will help you with retargeting ads on Facebook. That is absolutely true. Granted, the Facebook pixel match rate is like kind of low, and most other pixels have pretty low match rates. So what I mean when I say match rate, I mean if 10 visitors come to your site, how many of them can you actually tell who they are? So that's what I'm talking about when I say match rate. For us right now, where it's between like 40 and 60%, working on getting that up, but that's usually like what we see on our end. Most of these other pixels you'll see probably have 25% max, but most of them are hovering in the 10% range. So the biggest difference between like this pixel and the other ones, like I said, is data ownership. You own all of the data itself. Facebook doesn't own it. Google doesn't own it. You actually do own your own data of all the people who are coming to your site. You know who they are, and that's the biggest difference. It's like you own it, and then what you can do with it is up to you. It's not up to these platforms, because it doesn't necessarily make sense for every business to even run Facebook ads, for example, or Google ads. Maybe what makes sense for their business model is to do, email outreach or ads on a different platform that maybe there isn't a really easy way to work those out. Or maybe it's reaching out to those people on LinkedIn or finding them somewhere else, and maybe you want a more personalized touch. You can't do that, unfortunately, with the other options. Even if you have a Facebook pixel on your site and you set it to go back to Facebook and create a retargeting audience, you still have no idea who those people are. You still don't have the like insights that make it actually valuable to be able to understand like who is your niche, who is interested in your site, who's taking actions on your site, who's looking at multiple pages. You know, that's the kind of thing that without ownership of that data, you just can't do.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
speaking of owning that data, what does that kind of look like for our clients? Like, is there a platform that they see all the data that they're getting, and how can they use that in their, current um, ad platforms or email campaigns? Like, how easy is it to use?
Yeah, so basically, we set up a custom database on our end for all of our clients. And then we give them complete access to it. We say, here are all of the people, and we've been working to make it as easy as possible to understand, like, here's what you do with this information. But again, what people can do varies so much, and it depends so much on their business. If you're an e-commerce business, your strategies are going to be significantly different than if you are, let's say, a marketing agency, right? You're not going to have the same marketing strategies. So what we do is by providing basically completely appended data with as much information as we can give to the clients. And it's super easy. They can download it directly from the database. They can apply filters. They can sort it. They can group them by certain things. Let's say you want to group all the ones together by city or by state or whatever. That's super easy to do with our database. So pretty much our whole process is like, we send you the pixel, you get it on your site, we send you your database, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you it's harder than that, but I mean, it's really just giving you the data that's already there and enriching the ones that are, so you can really make that the next informed decision.
Oh, Justine, I couldn't hear you. Would you mind repeating that?
Sorry. Yeah, I was just saying that sounds very easy to get that started. So you use this pixel on your website. So how important is it to grow traffic on your website? And can you kind of talk about the different methods for growing traffic and getting more traffic to your site?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest focus is what's the goal that you have in mind? Because you might have amazing traffic right now, but it might be the wrong traffic. So maybe you are ranking for a specific word or key phrase that has nothing to do with your service. It might be great that you're getting a ton of traffic there, but they might not be the ones that you actually want. So the biggest thing is like, what's the goal? Like, how many more blank do you want? Signups, sales, demos, downloads, whatever that is. How many do you want? How many are currently happening? And then how much additional, what's the breakdown between, let's say your goal is 100 signups, you're only getting 10. Well, if you have 100,000 people coming to the site, that goal is pretty easy if you capture them and then remarket to them. Oh, see, cats even love the pixel, so another reason to install it. But
Yes.
but the truth is like it really depends on the goal. So like, how do you grow it? SEO, social postings, paid advertisement, but it all maps back to like what you actually want to happen. Larissa probably has a little different philosophy there, but
yeah. So in terms of like, yes, your web traffic matters significantly with this, really. So what we're doing with this pixel is we're making your website more valuable than it currently is, which is really important, right? So if you're spending a lot of time on SEO, on paid advertisements, if you have ClickFunnels, if you have any type of thing really that you need to be able to know who is coming to that site, that is where really like we kind of fit in and where we can help. So yes, your traffic matters significantly. Nico's certainly right though, that like you may have great traffic, and this is another problem with other analytics tools, not knowing who those people are. You may have great traffic. It very well could be the people you don't necessarily want. It could be, you're getting people that aren't actually that interested in your product, or maybe you have some content that does well, but it's not related to what you guys do. And therefore not driving the right people to your site. So being able to understand who's coming to your site, why and when is incredibly valuable and important.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it'll help optimize everything from your content to, your sales process. Um, so is there anything that we haven't talked about in, the last couple podcasts or this one that you really want to talk about in this podcast or leave our audience with that hasn't been said yet?
Yeah, I think the best thing is and again, it kind of goes back to like how are you successful with something like this? Having a process in place currently. So if you're just trying to like dip your toe into, analyzing your web traffic and then turning those into sales, this might not be the best place to start because there are ways that you need to, and processes that you have to have. So if you like this is your first time ever prospecting and you don't really know what to do with someone's first name, last name, email, phone number, social medias, potentially this is like might be overwhelming, right? But if you have a process in place and you know if you get someone that's interested in a contact info to send it to your sales team or to run an ad for a specific product or something, there's a process. This is an easy add-on. You add it on and get results the same day, if not the next day. So that's the only thing I would add to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think that was a great, short and sweet resource for our audience. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about, if not, I think that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever want to test it out, just email me at nico@getboundlessmedia.com and then we'll get you all set up. But besides that, thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back next week and a lot of interesting things in the development pipeline. So we'll keep you guys updated. Thank you so much for listening and have a great rest of your day. Cheers.